You can be doing everything right, showing up, saying the right thing, keeping the machine running, and still feel like you're watching it from a few feet away. Like there's you, and then there's the woman playing you. So, why does this hit you so hard at 50, 55, or 60 and not at 35? Well, because the roles that justified the performance have shifted from underneath you. Now, let me make this concrete because performing sounds sort of like an insult. And I really don't mean it to be that. The performed life is one built for an audience. It's the put together, competent you. You know, the easy one. The one who says, I'm good, how are you? Before they've even finished asking the question. It's the woman who keeps everyone comfortable, like your family, your friends, people at work, even the person in the grocery line. I mean, let's face it, you're good at it. You've had decades to practice it. The lived life is what's actually going on beneath all this. You know what you want, what you've quietly outgrown, the opinions that you no longer voice, the enthusiasm you fake because it's easier than explaining why it's gone. Here's the part I want you to hear, and that is everybody performs a little bit. The problem is when the performance lasts the entire day and you get the scraps. You know, the leftover 10 minutes at night when you're too tired to do anything about it. But here's the thing. The roles that justified the performance have changed. For decades, the performance had a point. I mean, some of you had kids. You had to hold it together. You were proving yourself at work where, let's face it, there wasn't much of a margin of error for women. I think we all came up that way. The performance wasn't fake. It was load bearing. It was doing the real work. But here's what nobody tells you. You got really good at that performance. You got rewarded for it. And a habit that stays for 30 years stays even when the reasons have changed. The kids grew up. The job changed or ended. Your marriage changed into a different season or maybe didn't last at all. The audience got up and left the theater and you're still performing to an empty house. That discomfort you feel, that low hum, that this isn't right, is not a malfunction. That's your lived life getting loud enough so you can hear it over the performance. It took until now because it finally could. Now let's talk about why we keep performing, even though we feel the gap. Because we don't keep doing it by accident. We do it because the performed life feels safer. You get approval. You avoid conflict. You don't disappoint anyone. And you never have conflict because you agree before the conversation even ends. You lose track of what you actually think. Someone asks your opinion and you're reaching and can't remember anymore. You've outsourced it for so long, the signal's gone quiet. You answer the standard, how are you? Question on reflex. And then on your way to the car, you think, am I really okay? And then there's the grief in here too. And this is the part people overlook, but I'm not going to. The woman you performed yourself into being was supposed to be enough. You did everything right. You followed the script. And the fact that it still doesn't feel all right can land as a personal failure. It's not a failure. The performance not feeling like it's enough isn't proof that it was done wrong. It's proof you're done. And those are completely different things. It's just that the culture we grew up in trained us to confuse them. So what do you actually do with this? And I'm going to disappoint some of you and say you don't reinvent yourself. Don't even consider it because reinvention is nothing but a new performance. I mean, move to Tuscany, become a different person. This is just a new performance wearing a different outfit. What closes the gap is small. Say the true thing in one conversation this week. When somebody asks your opinion, take a moment and think about it. Then give it. Decline one thing you normally would say yes to this week. And you don't have to have a reason. Just simply say, that doesn't work for me. And let one person see you be unsure. You don't have to know the answer to everything. Believe me, the sky is not going to fall if you say, I don't know. Each one of these moves you from the perform life to your actual life. You're not tearing anything down. You're just redirecting power. So here's what I want you to sit with. Ask yourself the gentler question, which is actually harder to answer. Which life of you got more this week? The one you perform? Or the one you actually live? You don't have to fix the answer. You just need to stop performing the answer. Tell me in the comments below where the gap is in your life. I'm sure other women would like to know. If you can, please subscribe, and thanks for the chat.